Hey everyone, welcome back to Rupees Over Ramen, the show where we talk about animation, creativity, the creative process, and tons of other nerdy stuff. This is another kind of late night podcast episode while I'm out walking. I was just trying to think of things that have been on my mind and also something I'd like to talk about. And it's about the woods, about forests, and how these things have inspired me and just kind of some of my connection with them. I think like going back goes to growing up, and my grandma and grandpa had some woods behind their house and their property, so we'd go climb down into the woods and go and swim in like the creek. And there's like an old tree house that my uncles had made. It's just like a really cool place to have fun and adventure and like really spark my imagination. It was a really great experience for that. And growing up later on, there were woods near my house. Sadly, they're not there anymore. Now I'm walking where they used to be. And now it's just like townhomes, which is kind of sad, but just shows you like the passing of time. But I remember walking through those woods and we found like this hole, and it was kind of like rectangular shaped and pretty long and had a wooden board over it. And we all joked like that we had found Abraham Lincoln's grave. I don't know where the logic came from, but it's fun looking back at that. And also with the woods, something I was thinking about was Winnie the Pooh in the 100-Acre Wood, and just all these friends and stuff that live in the wood, and some live in like the trunks of trees, some live in the branches like Owl, and some people live under the ground. But they all have their own personalities, and they all just kind of live together and have awesome adventures and stuff together. And it's just it's a cool thing. I've been trying to figure out like what I want this podcast to be, because it's kind of reached a plateau or stagnated, I guess, and reaching people. And I'd really like it to be a place where I can share stories and share ideas and just kind of talk to you guys. And yeah, a lot of my stories that I've written have some part that takes place in the woods because of my love for the woods and trees. And I think it's just really cool. They're like the ancient nature of trees, and that they've been here for so long, especially like the redwoods. I need to go see those in California. But even just like trees anywhere, they've been around for a while, and they've weathered storms and rains and just grown stronger, and their roots. And it also kind of relates to like family and family history and genealogy with family trees. So yeah, it's just a pretty cool thing. This is just kind of off the cuff, so and one of the things I wrote down for today and just trying to do more is spending more time in the woods. When I was in college, we were able to go out and spend some time in like woods, and there's actually some dunes nearby, so that was pretty cool. New experience. And with the woods, another thing later in life after Winnie the Pooh was Legend of Zelda. And Legend of Zelda had the Lost Woods and the Kokiri Forest, and the like do 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 do, and the Great Deku Tree. And it was just such good times playing that or watching friends play that game. What was some things in the woods? Yeah, it was just really cool. And I guess this might skip around a bit, but later on in my life was like Gravity Falls, taking place in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon, in the woods there, and the weird, mysterious things that happen in the woods, the monsters and creatures that lurk in the woods. And that it like brought me back to times camping, because I did scouts growing up, and camping, and sometimes going out on nights or walks in the woods, and sometimes having to hike into a campsite and just having the woods nearby and having a campfire, and it was really good times. So, and one of the things I feel like, one thing that someone commented like on their story on Instagram, they're like, hey, reply to this story and I'll tell you like which emojis like relate to you. And one of them for me was like a tree, I think. And then there's like a backpack, and then like a little wave, like a water wave. And it just reminded me how that connection to the woods and the forests and trees, and also over the garden wall. Basically, a lot of that story takes place in the woods. You can say woods a lot. And The Hobbit, some of that book takes place in the woods when you go to Mirkwood. And that wood has kind of been overtaken by darkness and has grown polluted. And it's interesting to see how that affects the story. I'm walking by like a pond with, I think they're like some frogs and maybe some insects. Yeah, they make a lot of noise. Anyhow, another thing is Big Hero 6. I don't think there's really much woods in the movie, but in the TV show, there's some episodes that take place in the Muir Horror Woods, which is kind of like, since it's San Francisco, it's kind of like the Muir Woods near San Francisco. And it's really cool because they have some Gravity Falls type mystery vibes in those episodes, and I love mystery stories like Sherlock Holmes and even like Scooby-Doo. Always love a good mystery. So, wow, it's tough doing a podcast while you're walking and doing some running too. I'm like exhausted, and I'm worried my L counter thing will go off. But yeah, just want to make this quick episode about forests and trees. They're very important, and I'm very tired. But I think spending time out in nature can be really helpful, especially in everything that's going on around us in our day-to-day. It's good to like go out and touch grass, but also go out and spend time in the woods. And you can touch some trees, like some trees have like poison oak and stuff, so don't touch those trees. But yeah, spend some time out in the woods, and if you have some woods nearby your house, like go on a hike, or even just some trees nearby, like a pond or something. It's really cool to see something that's been resilient and strong against storms and opposition. And it can really be a great inspiration. When I was in high school, we went in my art class, we'd go outside and draw trees, and that was one of my favorite things to draw because I felt like I could capture them pretty well, and got to draw some trees in college and then watercolor them, and it was just a cool kind of full circle moment, just going back to that after so long. And my story that I'm writing, my fantasy story, it deals a lot with trees and has a connection of magic to like a great tree, kind of like the Great Deku tree. And yeah, trees are cool. They're inspiring. See you guys later. Peace.